Welcome back to Stoney Creek. This week's update is just a little bit of stuff that I've been doing over the last week or two. It's hard to do a project video where I just show one thing that I'm doing because I have so many different projects going at one time. But at the moment I'm going to set up some gates for the pigs in the pig paddock to keep them off, to train them to go into a race, so when it comes time to dispatch them, they're calm, gentle, quiet. They know exactly what they're doing. One of them's down here, and while I set up the gates in their paddock, I've got a little bribe for them to keep them out of my road, because they'll want to help me and they could quite possibly escape. So I'll give them a bit of pumpkin and they'll go and enjoy themselves. But what else have I been doing? We finished the floor in the front of the house, so that's looking really nice. I'll show you a little bit of that and preparation for getting that ready. I had an off-farm excursion. I went fishing for a couple of hours, so that was nice. What else have we done? I've been working on the neighbour's paddock to get one of their paddocks ready for my cows and sheep. But you'll see in the update. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you next week. These are the gate panels that I've brought down to put in the pig area, and the girls are just here, and if I go in there they'll just annoy me and want to keep me company and get into all sorts of mischief, won't you girls? So I've brought them down some pumpkin and they love that, and I'll keep them occupied. Come on girls, up this way. Come on. The first thing they go for are the pips. They love the pips. So that'll keep them occupied for about 5-10 minutes while I get the gates in. Won't you girls? And leave me alone. So this is my little gate setup that I'll use for getting the pigs used to it. And it's all open and they'll just work their way through, and having fed them in here, I'll lock them in and they can then come out the race, and they'll be so used to it, it'll be just second nature for them. But they'll think it's great in the meantime. It's a good scratching post, isn't it girls? They'll push this thing around. And then I've got good access over the back to get the tractor in to lift them out. Here you go. They'll push these things around for days. Won't you? Hey? Hey, won't you? I should give you another break as well. What's 4 days? I'm just working out in my head how many days I've got feed in front of them. There's not a lot in these breaks. They're the poorer area, but at least then I could get them just to work it more. We'll see what happens. See you girls. Say hello. I'm back in the sunroom and I've got it all plastered out and undercoated, which was nice to finish with all the dust. I created a lot of dust in this area, but there's lots of plastering to be done. And now I'm just working out how to trim out these windows. I've got some trim, just a bit of square that I've cut on an angle to go in the top, and then there's architraves around the actual vertical. And then I've got a bit of bullnosing that I'm making up at the moment for the window sill And that'll just extend the sill out a little bit and give it a nice finish across the bottom. Tan always likes putting things on windowsills, so she'll have a wider sill at the bottom. I'll show you how I'm making up all the other bits, all the bits. So because we live fairly remotely, there's not a lot of material like you get in the city to make up the bullnosing at the bottom of the window. So I've just used 90 by 45 pine, just stud framing, and run it through the table saw to get it to a nice thickness of about 38 mil. And then I'm using my router just to put a nosing on it and just sand it up. And I just do a little trim at the back of it as well, so it can clear the plasterboard, and it gives a nice finish on the joint at the bottom. So if it comes out well, I'll do a video on the finish. But there's a lot of mucking around with finishing off around the windows. But I've ordered the floor, and all that material will be coming in 2 weeks' time. So I've got a little bit of work to do inside. It's been a few years since I've started renovating the front of the house, and we're nearly at the end of that process, and the flooring is starting to be put down today. So we've got all the underlay there, and the most exciting thing is I'm not doing it. So I've got someone else coming in to do it. It'd take me weeks to do it by myself, but these guys will take 2 to 3 days max. So I'm really looking forward to having a new floor put down, because I'm sick of looking at this crappy floor. I'm sure Tanya is too, but she's very good. She doesn't say anything. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And here's the floor finished. So we're starting to move some things in now, but it's come up a treat. It looks really, really good. Both of us are happy with it. All the way through now is the same. Not the horrible yellow tongue flooring. Now I can start putting together my office. And we've got to get a few bits and pieces of furniture to fix it up. Well, Tan's been looking at a new couch, but we're really happy with how the floors come up. It looks groused through the kitchen. Got to put all the appliances back in now. But that looks brilliant. 4 years to the day. So here's the windows all finished off. You can see it's all trimmed out nicely now, and there's nosing on the bottom. This is what I mean by nosing through the windowsill to make it a bit wider. So that's all done now. All I've got to do is finish painting it. I'm slowly putting my office back together. Found that nice bit of red gum in the garage here when we arrived, so that came in really handy. So it's come up a treat. Very happy with it. So just that edging around the window makes the world of difference, and being painted, of course. An off-farm activity today. I've got a mate that's got a couple of boats, and we're going to go and have a fish, and it's a beautiful morning. Well, it's lunchtime now, 12 o'clock, and we're just going to go out and have a fish for a couple of hours, see what we can bring home for dinner. I don't know if you can see, but there's millions of slimy mackerel in the water. I'm out on the neighbour's farm, and this is another paddock that they've got that has never had any animals in it since the 4 years that we've been here. And it's a really good paddock. I've just been going around the boundary fence. It had an electric wire put on it years and years ago, but I've gone and unhooked it off the fence because it's been broken in a number of sections. I've got an idea now of what I need to do to fix it all up and get it running, but there'll be another week and a half, 2 weeks before I put the girls in here, and this is probably, I don't know, a good 10 acres, 10, 12 acres. Goes up over the hill and down the other side, and most of it is adequate fencing, and I'll just get the electrics up and running, and so it keeps the cattle in. It's got sheep mesh all around, so the sheep will stay in place, but just so that the cattle don't put pressure on the fence. They shouldn't do, because there's plenty of feed in here. It's predominantly love grass in spots and lots of kangaroo grass, but there's quite a bit of feed in here for them, and then the cattle can do their magic with trampling and pushing down the grasses, and then I'll get the neighbour, he can mow it then, or I might have to come up with my big flail mower and mow it after the cattle have been through. I might leave it over winter, let the ground be protected, so that, and then do it closer to spring once it warms up a bit and we get some growth. But this is going to be a handy little paddock and give our farm a good little rest, because they could probably be in here for well on a month, happily grazing away. I've got to fix up the water. There's no water in this paddock yet, but there's water on the boundary. I can just get a water trough and connect that up, and as I said, get the fences running and put an energizer on that. So it should be pretty good. It was all hooked up over the fence either by people mowing or kangaroos jumping over and putting it over the top of the plain fence and shorting it out. So it shouldn't take me too long, another couple of hours, and making sure I've got all the right gear for it, and that'll be fine. So it's a very handy paddock to have in our rotation. This will be interesting. I've never filmed at night before with a spotlight. We'll see how it goes. But there's a possum going up the post. They love it here. There's always bits of feed floating around, bits of pumpkin, few seeds. They do get into the feed sometimes. But one of the jobs I wanted to do tonight was check the chicken caravans, because I'm not sure if the nesting boxes have been closing properly at night. It looks really amazing looking through the phone and looking through at the light. I'm sure this will bore lots of people, but it's quite pleasant being out at night on a nice night, listening to the sounds of the night. I'll have to turn the fence off. I don't want to get zapped. I don't know if you can see, but I'm in a bad spot under the trees, but there's a beautiful clear sky tonight. Not a heap of stars, but lots of, it's very black, put it that way. So I'll just turn this fence off and go and check the caravans. No, it hasn't closed, so it might be a flat battery. I'll go and investigate.